I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today happened to be Tuesday, June the 30th, 2020, time of the vision, time to change, time to wake up. It's about 3 o'clock p.m. in the evening. This is part 2 of a part 1 that I just made today. You know what I mean? Stop the black on black violence, y'all. Let me show you. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 t-shirts. And I got some fireworks here. But I got a message. To some people, it'll be a powerful message. To others, it'll be a joke. To some, you may not understand it. God don't want everybody to understand everything at one time. But this first t-shirt, again, first I want to say, black folks, stop killing blacks. July the 4th is coming up, and some people are looking forward to blacks keeping up that murder rate. Blacks killing black. But the first t-shirt here is, it says king, and it got a crown. Now, some people may say it's racist, but I don't care what they say it is, but it's facts. Black folks, we were and still are kings and queens by birth. This next one is, it says Black History. You see a lot of faces on there. All these individuals on here, with the exception of, all right now, young black entrepreneur going past, good young brother. Having to help me cut my grass and my bushes every now and then. I'm outside of those. No, these ain't for sale here. These, I'm just putting them on display. But those are 265, 70, 17. Right. We'll talk about it. You notice I didn't stop my thing because that's a young, good brother in the neighborhood. Brother give me respect, I give him respect. But this here, all of these individuals on here is deceased with the exception of Barack Obama. All of them brought some type of history here for blacks. Some freed slaves, helped free slaves. Now, they fought for us not to be killing each other, black on black crime. Now here go another one. My second oldest daughter got for me. It said, I don't need Google. My daughter knows everything. You see, they paved the way. Even though we was brought over here in 1619 in ships, but they still paved the way and let us know that we was kings and queens by birth. And we got to keep teaching our generation. You see what my daughter said, you know, got on here for me? I don't need Google. My daughter knows everything. That's what we want. Our daughters and our sons. We don't want this generation killing each other. You see what this t-shirt says? I can't breathe. And it got a pair of dark hands and fists in handcuffs. Brothers and sisters is being killed by white police with their knees on their necks in the jails. It done happened here in Mississippi County on May the 5th, I believe it was, in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County in the detention center on May, I believe it was the 5th, 2017. Bro said, I can't breathe. Her sister just got a lawsuit going now. Thank God she survived. Police on camera with his foot on her neck. I can't breathe. You see, I'm showing y'all these here for a reason. God sent me here May the 3rd, 1996. All right now, he didn't send me down here because I wanted to be down here. I was like Jonah. I tried to leave and he put me in the belly of the whale for 5 months in the detention center. It was for a just cause, but that's another story. Here it is, I'm fighting for black unity. I'm fighting against discrimination, racism here in the Charleston R1 school district. All right, now, the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department, the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County City Hall, the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County 33rd Circuit Court, and not all judges, and not all people in all them places I just mentioned, but the leaders. And guess where I'm from? I'm not from Charleston, Missouri. Look, I'm straight out of Chicago, Cabrini Green, housing projects. Not ashamed to say I've been to prison 4 times in Chicago, Illinois. Not proud of it, but not ashamed to tell it. I've been falsely accused twice here in Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri, by one of the law enforcement leaders here now who was a lieutenant back in 2000. I believe it was June the 25th, back in 2000, when he put a false case on me. That false case had nothing to do with rape, but he put on the police report attempted rape. It had nothing to do with unlawful restraint, but he put on the police report unlawful restraint. For all of y'all study talking about I'm a rapist and pedophile and all that, you don't know nothing about the case. See, I have the police report, and they shared in different places in case they burned my house down. You see what I'm saying? I saved them for a reason. But when he put them on them reports, it's because a black man was charged with doing something to a white woman, and it had nothing to do with sex, but he put attempted rape. Now, how many of you black people in Charleston, Missouri that have reported somebody done did something to your black child, and it didn't go no farther than being a report, and it wasn't even a report? But let me tell you this here. Those 2 charges that he put on there, when it went to the prosecuting attorney, neither one of them was on there. It was a sexual misconduct, which is a Class A misdemeanor, carried a maximum of 6 months in jail. And see, there's 4 different police statements. One that the lieutenant made then, who's the chief of police now in Charleston, Missouri. One that a white female officer was working here then that made, and then one from the alleged victim and one from the alleged victim mother. And all of them different. It could be only one story to it, but none of them said had anything to do with unlawful restraint nor attempted rape. But this what the chief of police, so you know, if people around here calling me a rapist, and on the court documents it says nothing about rape, that go to show you that the police chief telling people this here. But again, it ain't about that. It's just to show y'all, God waited 20 years to let me take the abuse of people calling me all these names, and it took a white judge, a white lawyer out of Jackson, Missouri, and me, myself, and I to fight for 20 years to get me off the sexual registry list. And I thank that judge. I thank the other judge, even though they had me on this list. I think the other judge that was on the bench for 25 years, a white judge, gave me custody of my 2 daughters because he knew I wasn't what they said I was. But let's get on back to blacks, y'all, killing blacks. You see these fireworks? My daughters and them had them about 2 or 3 years. Year before last, in a couple of years back, they was giving them to some of the kids in the neighborhood until we seen them shooting them at each other and shooting them at other people's houses. That's disrespect. Now, if you want to shoot at each other, don't shoot them at somebody else's house. If your children out here with these fireworks, you should monitor them. It's a female friend of mine in Charleston, Missouri, told me her grandson is getting surgery in St. Louis from here, Charleston, Missouri, because he got shot in the hand. How y'all doing? Because he got shot in the hand with a firework. See, the people that selling you the fireworks, they don't care what you do with it. Some of the police don't care what you do with it, long as you're doing it in the black neighborhood. It's a disrespect to allow your children to go shooting these big old things at other people's houses. You see what I'm saying? I know it's true because some do it in mine. I don't even call the police no more because I know ain't nothing gonna be done. But if you go in the white neighborhood, it's gonna be a whole different story, y'all. 4th of July coming up, y'all. Any group, I don't care what it is, any black group that's coming together, that's trying to talk about unity, I encourage y'all to listen to it. But see, when you're talking about unity, just like a preacher, you can't be talking about God preaching, you see what I'm saying? And then one of your congregation members said you're trying to sleep with them. You see, you can't talk about preaching when you ask your congregation to give you their tax forms or sign their deed and on their homes and their property. If you lead a church, that you have to give them houses and their property up. That ain't of God. Stop telling people about Malachi, would a man rob God? Did you hear what that statement said? Would a man rob God? Not would a man rob another man. Man ain't God. But black folks, another thing is, here in Charleston, Missouri, you remember, I'm not from Charleston. I've been talked about. I've been called the N-word. I've been physically and verbally assaulted. But yet I haven't killed nobody. In the city of Chicago, I did most of my time in prison for taking the lives of individuals that assaulted me. But God done changed me around. He changed Paul around. Some people may think I'm a little too, what they call radical. They call Martin Luther King radical. But Martin Luther King got tired of them dogs. You see what I'm saying? Them billy clubs, them water hoses. And he knew that the law wasn't upholding the law. And Martin Luther King, when they told him to cool down, he said, we done cooled down too long. If we cool down any longer, we'll be in a deep freeze. What is a deep freeze? If we keep on letting these police put their foot on our neck and we said, I can't breathe, and then we end up dead. What these people did is nothing. We no longer kings and queens. Kings and queens protected their tribes. We can't even say that I don't need Google. My daughters know everything because our daughters is getting killed. Black on black crime. Wake up, y'all. All I can do is give you the message. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force nor make him drink. You can give human beings knowledge, but you can't force or make them think. All I can do is say, stop the violence. July the 4th is coming up in 4 more days. We don't have to kill each other. If we don't like each other, let's just go in another direction. But if somebody got a platform that's talking about unity in the black community, listen to it. Listen to it and ask God to give you a spirit of discernment to see whether or not this is what is happening or is this just something that's being uttered out your mouth. James Brown said it clearly with some cases. He said it's a dull night, ain't nothing cutting. He said they talking loud and ain't saying nothing. But you'll know if they talking loud and ain't saying nothing. James Brown also said, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. I'll open up the door and get it myself. Open up the door, y'all, and get it yourself. It's 51% black here in Charleston, Missouri, and it's a shame there's only one black police on the Charleston, Missouri police force. It's 51% black here in Charleston, Missouri. It's a shame it ain't no black judges, no black state's attorneys. It's a shame it's 51% here in Charleston, Missouri. Ain't no black sheriff deputies. It's a shame 51% here in Charleston, Missouri, and the school is still ran by the same old people. Listen here, y'all. Wake up. Teach your children. Hey, now. Teach your children No violence this weekend, y'all. No more violence, period. Black on black. Peace be still.